Hey guys, welcome. In today's video we're going to talk about many things, and one of them is age. Women rarely talk about their age, but I've never had a problem with disclosing my age. I recently turned 30. I didn't do anything big. I didn't have a party, I didn't have a monumental thing, but I took a solo trip to Lamu to try and celebrate my turning 30. And I've been reflecting a lot. This whole self-isolation has really made me really think about my life and what I want for myself. And I've also grown to embrace being 30 after so many years. So I really want to talk about my biggest regrets or things I wish I knew earlier. In fact, these are things I would tell a 20-year-old. You know, I have cousins, I have friends who are in the early 20s, and these are things I would tell them. So my first regret is not charging how much I am worth. I feel so bad because earlier on I did not charge my worth, and I could take checks, small checks, or even sometimes I could work for free. While it's okay to work for free when you're getting started, especially let's say in the blogging world, in the freelancing world, in the job market, it was really hard for me to ascertain a price, and I would just go by the price of how much does the company pay or how much budget do you have, and so I would always get underpaid. And also it took a long time for me to be comfortable to discuss that, you know what, this is a win-win situation. For example, let's even talk about when you're working with brands. Brands approach you because they know you can give them something of value. But for me, I felt like they were doing me a favor by working with me. So that is one big regret. I wish I knew my value earlier. But also I'm so happy because it's been a learning curve, and I've gotten to a point where I know my worth, and I'm willing to walk away if my worth is not met. And if, let's say, we negotiate and the person is not budging, they want me to work for free, or they really want to underpay me, I can walk. So, and I really feel okay with knowing that. And it comes with age, sometimes it comes with experience. The next regret I made is ignoring work contracts. In Kenya, many small businesses don't value work contracts. So sometimes you work with someone but you don't work under contract, you work on friendship basis, and they screw you over at the end. So that really happened to me, especially when I was fresh out of campus. I did not have any money. I got this magazine job. In fact, there's a story time for another day, how I was conned, or how my services were taken for granted. And so we worked with these guys, and we worked in a magazine job. So what they did is they were looking for young, energetic creatives who would go and do interviews and come and write for their magazine. And what happened is I wrote so many business articles, but I was never paid. The only money I was getting was transport and money to go do the interviews and money to distribute the magazines. We really worked tooth and nail to get that magazine on the ground, but we were never paid. And the funniest thing is that when I was entering the job, I really liked the people, we had a good rapport, but later, because we had no contract, we could not sue. We tried to go to a lawyer, but they were like, if you don't have a contract, man, like, this is gonna be hard. And that is one big regret. One thing I would tell you is, if you're doing any job, especially where you don't know the people, even if you know the people, it's always good to have it on paper. And if they don't want to give you a contract, you can come up with your own contract and give it to them to sign. So sometimes you'll find that in freelancing, some people don't want to pay you, or they don't want to give you a contract. The next regret I made is not really travel Kenya. I would really love to travel all over Kenya. For example, there's some places I've always wanted to go, but I've never been able to go. In fact, even when I took my solo trip to Lamu, I was asking myself, why have I never come to Lamu? It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. It's in our country, and I was finding it hard. So I wish I really traveled a lot. In as much as I've traveled to different counties, I'd still want to go to places like Marsabit. I'd still want to go to places like Turkana. I'd want to go to like many other places to just see what the country has to offer. I've never been to the Mara. Imagine, at my big age, I've never been. But then again, there's a discussion that sometimes traveling within your own country, especially for us Kenyans, is expensive because of the accommodation issue, whereby hotels charge exorbitant prices per night for locals. So you find that it's not worth it to go to Mara to pay like 50k a night if you don't have that type of money. So I've also seen that I don't always have to go to the Mara. There's so many other places I could go. I could go to Embu, I could go to Meru, like there are other places I could always visit. The other regret I have is that I didn't save enough. In fact, yesterday we were having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about how we wish we saved in our 20s. But then again, I really don't regret, because some of the experiences that I've had in my 20s, I could not exchange them for money. For example, for travel, I really tried to travel as much as I can when I was in my 20s, and hopefully in my 30s I'll be now more financially astute. I'll be more financially educated to save and do that. Well, obviously I have been saving, and I've been very frugal, and I've been really money minded. I couldn't say that I was really tracking my savings or investing or doing all those things in my 20s. So one thing I wish I did, especially in my early 20s, would be to save, because I discovered way late, like in my late 20s, that oh my gosh, if I started saving when I was 21, right now I'd have a mansion somewhere. But anyway, it's life. Sometimes experiences have to be had, and I would never regret all the experiences that I've had. And then when it comes to saving money, I mean, you can stay and regret about how you've not saved money over the last few years, but what are you willing to do today? I remember when I was 28, I was still saying, man, I wish I saved. I'm 30 now, I'm still saying, man, I wish I saved. But what have I been doing? What can I do today to sort of account for all those years that I've not been saving, you know? So right now I'm very intentional on how I spend my money, how I invest my money, how I make my money, and I'm really looking forward to go through this financial journey. And yeah, the next thing I regret is losing out on some friendships. I know it's inevitable to lose friends. Sometimes you just have to lose friends along the way. It's okay. I used to be somebody who had over 40 friends. When I was in uni, I had friends from my primary school, friends from my high school, friends from my hometown, friends from my campus and my college days, and friends that I made after campus. However, over time, I have lost so many of those friends. I think I've lost over 70% of those friends, and right now I only have very few friends. In fact, the friends that I have, I could count with one hand. And I was just reflecting the other day, you know, this self-isolation thing is really making you reflect on who are your real friends. I went to my phone book and I really combed through and thought about friends I used to have in the past whose numbers I still have, called some up, the ones that I was very intentional in this process. I called some up. I'm very happy I've rekindled some of my friendships through this time, and I'm really looking forward to have more intentional friendships. One thing I regret, however, because this is like a regrets video, would be letting some friendships slide. You know, there are those friendships which you can never rekindle. Either the person moved or they moved on with their life. Right now they're so busy for you guys to be friends. So I really feel bad not having invested in some friendships. But then again, I'm also happy that I get to make new friends and also maintain the ones that I have and salvage the ones that I can. The next thing I regret is not advocating for myself. I used to always be that person who sings in the backgrounds, you know, when your cooler friends stand out or your more popular friends stand out. I never used to want to be heard. I used to always shrink and make my voice as small as possible, because that was my way to blend in. That was until I hit 24 and I had a wake-up call, I remember, before my birthday, and I decided I'm no longer shrinking. This is not helping me. So I decided to start standing out. So whether it's in my job, whether it's in online, whatever I am doing, I started letting my voice be heard more, and I started advocating for myself. In work, in life, in relationships, in friendships, I've been able to find my voice and even self-reflect and ask myself, what am I really feeling? What do I really want out of life? And that is one thing I'm really happy that I have done. However, I wish I had started earlier. Maybe I would even be so far in life than I am now. The other thing I regret, and I think most people echo this, is not taking care of my body and skin. I remember when I was in campus, I used to eat junk every day. In fact, I used to have a very big, I used to have love handles. I was really big. If I find a photo, I'll insert it here. I was really big and I had a huge appetite. But however, my health was at peak. I think my metabolism was also great, but then now I'm feeling the effects of maybe eating badly, not working out, and it's only at late 20s, maybe from 26 to 27, that I started really working out, started really looking after my health, started looking after my skin, and I started actually learning about eating healthy. Thank God for YouTube, because YouTube has really taught me a lot about healthy living, healthy eating, and I took that up late. I just hope that no damage had been done from my prior eating badly when I went to campus. Altogether, I miss my metabolism when I was in my 20s. I regret not taking care of my body. The other thing, this is one of my biggest regrets, would be caring what other people think. All growing up, since I was young, I always remember having this voice in my head of, I don't know whether this is something that everybody experiences, but maybe you can let me know down below. Like, I was always aware. Let's say if I am waking up, I'm always aware that so people are looking at me, I'm in the town, what are they thinking? So that those thoughts would consume me. I don't know whether it's social anxiety or anxiety in general, but every time, even today when I go outside, I'm always like very worried about what is somebody thinking, what are they thinking, they're looking at me, why, and I feel so awkward. But then I don't know whether this is something that everybody goes through, so let me know down below if you're always very aware when you're outside in social situations. However, I discover the more I go outside, the more I'm in social situations, I don't care. I do not care. I know people are looking at me, but I'm more in the moment and I'm more carefree. I would really love to be more carefree. Like, you know what, I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt, so what? I don't care. I'm outside and I'm enjoying my life. So I really want to get to that point, and I really used to really care what people think, and it held me back from expressing my opinion, from going after things, from being who I am, from so many things, because I was worried, what will so and so think, what will my friend think, what watanibebaje, watanichukuliaje. All that is nonsense. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And the most laughable and the most funny thing is that those people that I used to worry about their opinion, they don't matter. Some of them we're not friends anymore. I haven't even seen them in years because of just life's trajectory of people just drifting. It's normal. I haven't seen them in years, and I even wonder, why was so and so such a huge part of my life? Why did I care how much they think, or why did I really worry about the opinion that I held myself back? Like, those are some of the regrets, I wonder. But now that I'm in 30, I don't really care for what somebody thinks. Somebody will say this and this and this. I don't really care. Next thing I regret is not taking experiences, especially with this self-isolation time and the pandemic that is going on. I've really regretted not taking chances. I've gotten so many invites for things and I'm like, I don't want to go, or it's gonna be too awkward. I've gotten invites to go for trips, to go for road trips, to go for experiences, to go just have lunch with someone, to just go for an art class, to go for a play, such stuff. Like, I really regret that I didn't do that. In fact, I remember somebody invited me for a language class when I was in campus and I didn't go, and right now I'm just thinking I wish I did it. But then again, I also took some really good chances and things that I did, and I'm gonna do another video. But guys, let me know, what are your regrets of 20 years. I'm gonna be doing another video about things I don't regret, because it wasn't all bad. I am really proud of my 20s and things I did, and I've lived a beautiful life in my 20s. I had some major lows, major highs, and I'll be talking about all the highs in my next video.